They landed in silence, their ship settling with a mechanical sigh into the black sand of the nameless planet, known in star charts only as XR 577. Orbiting a red dwarf star at the edge of known space, the planet had no atmosphere, no plant life, no oceans. Just endless obsidian plains and one singular anomaly, a massive, perfectly symmetrical temple buried half beneath the surface. Dr. Elise Navarro had seen 1,000 ruins in her career, but nothing like this. The structure radiated something ancient, something hungry. The expedition team comprised 6 members: Dr. Navarro, lead archaeologist and linguist; Mateo Ruiz, xenogeologist; Priya Sharma, structural engineer; Travis Bell, drone operator; Camila Dorn, exobiologist; and Captain Desmond Weller, security detail. Each of them had trained for deep space missions, but no amount of training could have prepared them for what lay within those walls. As they approached the temple's monolithic entrance, Navarro couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The air, or rather the absence of it, felt heavy. Despite their pressurized suits, a chill prickled down her spine. A smooth arch of onyx-like stone rose above the threshold, covered in strange etchings that shimmered under their suit lights. "It's not just alien," Navarro murmured. "It's deliberate. This wasn't just a place to live or gather. This was holy." Bell launched a scanning drone through the entrance, its camera relaying images back to their helmets. The interior walls glistened like wet stone, but there was no sign of moisture. Strange murals covered every surface, depictions of towering, sleek creatures with elongated heads and ridged tails. Some stood in regal poses, surrounded by kneeling figures. Others loomed over what appeared to be ritual fires, blood flowing into stone troughs. "Those look like xenomorphs," Dorn whispered, "but more stylized. Worshipped like deities." Ruiz frowned. "You're suggesting this civilization didn't just fear them, they revered them?" Navarro zoomed in on one image, lines of beings bowing toward an enormous xenomorph seated on a throne of bone. "It's more than that. They built this entire place in their honor." They stepped through the threshold. Inside, the architecture bent the mind, angles that shouldn't exist, corridors that curved in on themselves, gravity that seemed to fluctuate subtly. The deeper they went, the stronger the energy pulsed. Ruiz's instruments went haywire. Sharma's mapping tools failed to create a coherent layout. "None of this makes sense," she muttered. "This place is warping space." And still the murals continued. Scenes of offerings, beings torn open on altars, writhing in agony while others watched in awe. Xenomorphs emerging from victims as if through divine birth, surrounded by golden light. It wasn't worship through love, it was worship through terror. "We should leave," Dorn said. "We've seen enough. This place wasn't meant for the living." But Navarro was already steps ahead, mesmerized by a massive chamber at the temple's core. In its center stood a monolith inscribed with pulsating glyphs. Her fingers hovered inches from its surface. "Don't," Weller barked. Too late. As her glove brushed the stone, a low hum vibrated through the floor. Lights activated overhead, circles of bioluminescence revealing more murals. This chamber was different. This was the heart of the temple. And at the far end, shrouded in shadow, something moved. At first, they thought it was a trick of the light, a reflection from their visors. Then it shifted again, slithering across the far wall. "Contact," Weller growled, raising his weapon. "No sudden moves," Navarro warned. "We don't know if it's intelligent. It doesn't have to be intelligent to kill us." The creature stepped into the light. It was enormous, easily 10 feet tall, its body a glistening black carapace, smooth and seamless. Its elongated skull gleamed. And it wasn't alone. From the walls, from hidden crevices, more figures emerged. Not statues, not illusions, xenomorphs. Dozens of them. The team backed into a circle, weapons raised. But the aliens didn't attack. They watched, studied, as if waiting for something. A deep rumble filled the chamber. The floor began to lower, revealing a spiral staircase lit with ancient fire. Navarro understood then. This wasn't just a temple. It was an altar. The team descended, compelled by something unseen. The Xenomorphs followed, silent and reverent. At the bottom, they found the true sanctuary, a room shaped like an egg, walls pulsing like flesh. At its center was a pit filled with bones, surrounded by 4 stone slabs like altars. Glyphs above them glowed red. Navarro translated automatically, her voice hollow. The blood of the wise, the brave, the curious, and the strong shall awaken the gods. Suddenly, restraints shot from the slabs, grabbing Ruiz, Sharma, Bell, and Weller. They screamed, but the others couldn't move, paralyzed by some psychic force. Navarro fell to her knees. "Please, whatever you are, we came in peace." The largest xenomorph approached her, tilting its head. It reached out, not with claws, but a strange appendage from its chest. A golden light flared between them. Navarro's mind was bombarded with images, an ancient race, dying, desperate for power. They summoned the Xenomorphs, not as invaders, but gods. They built this temple to sustain them through ritual sacrifice. Every few centuries, the structure called out psychically, pulling minds across light years. The ritual was never meant to stop, only repeat. The slabs lit up. Blades descended. Bell screamed first as his chest was opened with surgical precision. Weller fought until the end, roaring obscenities as blood poured across the floor. Sharma whimpered prayers. Ruiz went silent before the blade touched him. And from their corpses came life. Eggs hatched from the pit. Facehuggers leapt. Navarro and Dorn watched in horror as tiny xenomorphs emerged and bowed before the towering elder. Then silence. The psychic hold broke. Navarro collapsed, retching inside her suit. Dorn pulled her upright. "We have to get out," Dorn rasped. "Now." They ran, the path no longer warped. The xenomorphs did not chase. Their hunger for now was sated. But the temple pulsed with renewed energy. When they reached the surface, the ship's controls were fried. Weller had been the pilot. "No distress signal," Dorn muttered. "We're stranded." Navarro looked back at the temple. New murals were being etched, 2 human figures kneeling among the gods. "You saw it too," Dorn whispered. "It wasn't just death. It was devotion." Navarro nodded. They didn't worship them because they were gods. They made them gods. Through fear, through sacrifice. Dorn turned away. "We're next." They fortified the ship's interior, rationed supplies. Days passed. The xenomorphs didn't emerge again. But Navarro began to dream. Visions of the elder whispering to her, promising purpose. Glory. Ascension. Dorn noticed the change first, Navarro talking to herself, etching glyphs onto the ship's walls. "You're becoming like them," she said. "No," Navarro replied. "I'm becoming what I was meant to be." That night, Dorn woke to find Navarro gone. The temple was lit again. She watched from a distance as Navarro knelt at the altar, arms outstretched. The elder xenomorph stepped forward and touched her forehead. Dorn turned away before the ritual began. Weeks later, a survey ship picked up a faint signal from XR 577. No voice, just a data burst, a series of coordinates and one message. "The gods await." The crew followed the signal, driven by curiosity. When they landed, there were no bodies, no ruins. Only a pristine temple, newly formed, its walls bearing new murals. Navarro among the gods, smiling, her eyes black as void.